Alright, so I'm making this recording. It's the 17th of December, 2021. The last day, at least the last full day that this map will be up. Recording this mostly just because this is kind of as a monument to everything I've built on this map. Trying to remember when it started. I think the first day or last day of 2018, 2019, something like that, when the aquatic update came out. Because I was kind of there since the beginning, but this is really when I kind of took off and started building everything on my own. So, mostly just going to be doing a run through of all the buildings I've done, maybe giving some commentary on some of them, on their history, what I was thinking at the time. But there's a lot, so it's kind of just going to be a fast run through, and a lot of it is just going to be looking at furniture on the insides and stuff like that. But I don't know, that's kind of part of the appeal of building things for me. So not too concerned about that. And it's not really, this isn't really for other people as so much as it is for me to look at later on, long after this is gone. Because never really going to get the chance to see all this again. But that's just kind of what you get for playing on a server. So I guess I'm going to start at the beginning at my first house, which is what we're looking at now. I ended up building this kind of just in an empty field on a coastal area, and what you see now is kind of just the town that built up, um, kind of just on its own. But this is where it all started. The first house is just really small. I wasn't really concerned about expanding it or anything like that. You just have tiny little bits of furniture. And this stone pickaxe is actually like one of the first tools I crafted on the server, and I kind of just left it there. I'll probably take it with me, but it's a little historical footnote. I think it was a quaint, little fun design, though it didn't really last long because I didn't, you know, I like aesthetics and I needed chest space, so obviously I had to start thinking of what else I'm going to do from here. So the second building, which is actually across from here that I ever did, right up on this hill, was what was supposed to be my main house. Though it's not that much bigger, if you ask me. Still pretty quaint wooden design. Though that's when I started going crazy with stairs and experimenting with stuff like that. Though it still looks pretty good today. Though obviously I think I can do better. Come in, you got a little kitchen area, small little living room space, a little foyer, and an office, which I think turned out pretty nice for being such a hard small space to work with. But the bedroom really sucked, and I didn't really feel like going in and fixing it anyway, so it is what it is. Plus, when it comes to houses, I don't really actually spend that much time in them. They're they're more for display more than anything. Though though I did end up living in the basement, and it's kind of torn up now. Nothing really going on in here anymore. But this is where I spent a good year just storing all my stuff away. And I got all my enchanting stuff down in here. But it's not really important to look at. Then obviously I had a friend who I'll show her house eventually, but she left me this sign here. That was 3 years ago or so. And we'll head back into Town Square, just head back out from there. Start back in Town Square. We have a little helical kind of fountain built from lapis. Thought it was just a pretty simple and fun design. Though I did have to use some references because I wasn't very good at building a spiral shape, but I figured it out eventually. This was actually like the third structure built in town. This was originally going to be like a cow farm with a little ranching station next to it. But then I kind of got to thinking as to why would Town Square have the cow farm in it? That doesn't really make sense. So it ended up just being a really small house. And even then, it's not really a complete house because it doesn't even have a bed or anything to sleep in. But, I guess I was just practicing my interior design at the time. Because you'll see some things that I do kind of consistently, like trapdoors on stairs like this to make it look like shelving. Though, it could be better. But, for a start, it looks all right. And you can tell I was doing a cow station because I just stuck the little head up there just for fun, I guess. Then we got a little flower shop. I really like it. It's really simple, but I don't know, it just looks really good for such a small space. I had a lot of fun building it. Then I'll probably repeat that a lot during this recording, but I think some of the more fun things you can do are some of the small ones. It's always a challenge to see what you can do with a limited amount of space. And I kind of branched out, kept building houses. Said, hey, some houses are just gonna have slanted roofs. How can I experiment with slanted roofs? So I came up with this design, and the insides are nice, though. I think when I'm gonna go back and look at these a lot, I'm gonna see ways that I could have done this better. Like, oh man, I'm kind of looking at this carpet, or not this carpet right now, but that's what I'm thinking of. Is this could use a carpet. You could use some paintings, but it's easy to say that with hindsight. 3 or 4 years later, it is what it is. This house, I'm actually not really going to be able to show you because this guy, I ended up letting him borrow this house, and that really didn't work out because I'm pretty sure the moment I said yes and he logged out in there, he never came back. So honestly, though, you're not really missing much. It's really simple. Nothing really going on. The second floor bedroom is uh kind of just like my first house where it's a tiny tiny bedroom. Then we had some like little stalls. I never really got around to furnishing them or doing anything with them, but they're just supposed to be selling some just street vendor stuff. Then over here, we kind of got the whole dock in harbor area. And you see the lighthouse in the distance. And that little house on the hill over there was actually built by my dad. Yeah, because I don't know, I guess he just got curious about Minecraft one day. And so I let him build in my town. It doesn't really fit in with the town, but it's your dad. What are you going to do? I'm not unhappy with it. If anything, it's great that he even played, so I'm happy with that. Then the structure behind us. I just remember I just could not figure out how I was going to furnish this. And so I kind of got bored sitting around for a while, just building something, not being happy with it, and then tearing it down. So I just moved on. it never ended up getting furnished in any way. But you can see it's pretty similar to the brick house back there. Then you can see I experimented with some stilt houses, put them up on like raised platforms. This one is really, really a little goofy. I mean, I like how it looks on the outside, but once you get on the inside, it's like a one-room house. But I did the best with what I could, and I'm still happy with it, even after all this time. Then you got the second stilt house. This one turned out pretty good. To put It's probably a bit too much carpet, but it looks good. Looks decent. And I liked the porch. I think that porch with the skylight and everything was pretty. And I guess another thing I glossed over about this village is that it actually had a naturally spawned village already kind of here. And this corner around here, and especially where this inn is built, was where some of those structures were at. I remember specifically the church being right here on the inn, but I kind of ended up bulldozing it over because I couldn't think of a way that I was going to incorporate it into the entire build. And I tried to keep the villagers, and I actually locked them into this house I built into the hill. And it's a nice house. It looks good. But the villagers naturally wanted to escape their imprisonment, and so they would sit by the door. So much so that they would poke out the door, and eventually zombies came and converted them into zombies through the door. So that was the end of the villagers, which, honestly, it's a good thing. Fuck villagers. They're pretty annoying. And just keeping them alive was annoying, so it is what it is. But it's a quaint little house. Cute little house. And it's the middle of the night, so there's gonna be some mobs around, so I'm sorry if I get tied up killing stuff. I wanted to do this as flawlessly as possible, but it's not gonna work out, and it's the last day that I'm gonna be able to do this recording, so it is what it is. And then this inn uh, I'm actually gonna hop in there to kill this guy. Give me your fucking trident. Did I get it? No. Rest in pepperoni. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. This whole dock uh, it wasn't ever quite completed anyway, and you can see where I left off all those years ago and never ended up going anywhere with it. To the point that, yeah, I just remembered that I didn't even finish it just by looking at it today. But back to the inn. The inn I actually did use a reference for. It's not a copy, but I did look at some stuff just to get some ideas. But overall, I think this was the fourth or fifth building in town I built. I'm also going to go back and post some of the older pictures I have of the town being built separately, because this is probably going to get posted to the forums, but we'll see when we get there. But you come in, kind of got a main dining area and lounge counter. You got your kitchen. Then you go upstairs. You got all your various rooms. They're still pretty to me today. This one, I guess, is like the VIP room because you get the whole porch to yourself. The view of the ocean, which I also lit up with glowstone blocks. And it was hundreds of glowstone blocks, but looking at a dark ocean just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look as good. You got another room. Some of these rooms are kind of repeats, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, yeah, this one's not too different. Then you go up here. You got probably the smallest room. It doesn't look too bad. Could use some paintings. You got the view of kind of like the little park on the side here. Then this was just kind of an empty space. But you got a view of town a little bit. Another room. This is a pretty decent looking room. Got the view of the seaside market. And that's the inn. But that was the early days in the server first getting reset. And fucking skeleton. Then we had the seaside market. Some of these aren't really selling anything specific, but you know, this one was selling fish. This one was selling, you know, fishing rods. Kind of wanted to have like a bazaar kind of thing, just a lot more stalls than there ended up being. But I didn't build the dock big enough. And I guess you're happy with what you built eventually. This house I really, really like. I think it turned out really well. I think if there was anything I would change, it was maybe use this space down here for something. I don't know, storage or something like that. But the insides are really nice. You know, you got your little hole in the floor where you get up, but then you got your kitchen, your dining area, and your lounge. Then you got the little porch. I don't know what's charming about this porch, but I really like it. And your little bedroom. But this house was just, I don't know, it was proving to myself that yeah, I can build something that looks really pretty. And I don't have to copy people in order to build something I'm happy with. Though obviously, you know, it really took off. It really took off. Then another house. This one's pretty quaint. Just kind of got all in one room. Then you got your bedroom and your kind of office setup up here. Not too bad. So you're kind of looking into your neighbor's window. And you can see the inn. Yeah, the mobs are really out, but you know, what am I supposed to do about that? Because I guess I could have made a residence for this entire place, but I'll put a picture up on the map, but this is a really big plot of land to be protecting, and I couldn't be bothered to do it. Plus, in all its years being here, no one's ever griefed it, so I would say it's a success. Then yeah, you got your little entryway to this house, kitchen, dining room, living room, and I like the fireplace. This is kind of homey kind of feeling. And then this one turned out to be a nice attic living room. And if you ever see two doors together like this and then stairs behind them, it's supposed to be a closet. In my head, it's a closet. It looks like a closet to me. I don't know if everyone else sees a closet in it though. Then you got your bed in the corner back here. You got a nice little view. This little park. And we'll come out here and haven't shown you this house yet. This house, secrets out, this was a copy. This wasn't original. But, oh fuck, not Santa. Yeah, everyone wants to harass me as soon as they see me recording, so figures. But this house was a copy. I just wanted to kind of branch out there and see what else there was to make. And this house looked pretty, so I figured I would build it here. The only thing different about the house, as I fucking kill Santa here, because Santa's being a fucking dickhead, is man, no one can give me a break right now. Yeah, this was always the thing about town too, is just that I can't light the whole thing up. So at night, everything comes out and you just gotta deal with it. And the fucking data ghost looking at me like a son of a bitch, that Stromboli motherfucker. But I guess I did change up the design a little bit because the walls were flat. And early on in my building experience, I found stairs. Making these alcoves with stairs adds a lot of depth to a build, which you'll see repeated anywhere, really. I use stairs. Oh, that was close. They're really after me today. I was really happy with the interiors for this one too. It just looks nice. That's a great kitchen area right here. Though the more I look, the more I'm like, damn, there's never enough paintings. But there is an entity limit, so I wouldn't be able to do all the paintings. But still, it would have been nice if I could have unlimited paintings. And you come up to the living room. Not the living room, the fucking bedroom. It's a nice bedroom. You could probably do like a loft or something like that in this. Or a chandelier, just something to use up this space up here. But it looks good. It still looks nice. The windows all got a nice view. Trying to see. I guess we'll run back over here to the little park on the side here. But we'll start here, which this looks like a house. And to be honest, I didn't do a very good job on this one because it was supposed to be a bar and restaurant, and it clearly is. You can see it is. I mean, it's a small one. It's a quaint little one. But it looks too much like a house, in my opinion. But the interiors were nice, though. Up in here, there's a whole bunch of empty space that there's nothing going on with it, but it's whatever. It is what it is. I never did end up connecting it into the roads. And you can see the roads are kind of a combination of just a bunch of blocks that I just carved out and then just slapped in at random. And then you'll also see some crafting tables and chests just kind of laying around that I never ended up cleaning up. But I don't really care, to be honest. Then you just kind of had like this like coastal park, which kind of is, thinking about it, is a little weird. You would think there'd be a beach here, but I guess, I don't know. It still looks fabulous, so it is what it is. Just a place to hang out. And I'm always a big fan of the big trees like this. I mean, if I could get trees to come out as perfect as this one all the time, that'd be just great. Because trees are goddamn finicky. This one isn't very impressive in my eyes. It's not that incredible looking on the outside. The walls are very, ugh, it's pretty basic and gross. You even have some of the furniture popping out from the other side, but it wasn't going to keep expanding in this direction, the town, because that's my friend's house right there, and I actually ended up furnishing that, so I'll show you in a bit. But the insides are nice. It's actually an ice cream shop. You got all your different flavors and places to sit down and eat. You got a little security camera making sure ain't no one stealing shit. A little coffee pot, and this is supposed to be like your ice cream machines. Your pantry to hold everything. And the checkered floor is always nice, though I am kind of wondering why I put a carpet on the already nice floor, but it is what it is. Skylights are nice. I should have put a retaining wall here, but I didn't. And then I wanted to experiment with some brick houses. And back here, these ones are pretty fabulous. I like this little hangout area. I think this was before, no, this was before campfires were added, so it used to just be an open flame on a piece of netherrack. I think I put the flames out for whatever reason, just I guess to be safe. And I went crazy with stairs, but it makes the exteriors pop out a lot more, especially on these ones. They just look so much better. It would have been just a little box, really, if you didn't do anything with the stairs. So the stairs really make it for the exteriors. And there was a door here. I'm pretty sure a zombie beat it down at some point, and I never put it back. Little kitchen and office, and your bedroom. Maybe not the most incredible layout inside, but I'm still happy with it after all this time. And then this house. This house was actually modeled after homes that I've seen a lot visiting a city in Maryland called Cumberland. Just a really old-fashioned kind of town or city, not town, but city built up in the mountains. So there'd be a lot of raised porches and drive-in garages, kind of like this. So I kind of just wanted to recreate something I'd kind of seen similar before, though obviously not quite the same. And then, yeah, you got your dining room and your kitchen. Come in, living room, porch. I think that's pretty. I like that. I would have put a window up in the middle, but obviously that floor ended up being the bedroom, and it already kind of has windows, and it would be weird to have a window in the middle here. It just wouldn't really work out. It'd look kind of funky. Then obviously, yeah, I built a little side park there, which I'll show you now. This is supposed to be just a little park, and I really liked how I bordered all the natural inclines with the cobblestone. It just seems fitting, just seems natural to it. You had a little swing, just little park benches and stuff, places to hang out. You can kind of see another stilt house off in the background, which I'm happy with that one. You'll see that one soon. And I'll show off the pig statue later, because that one's got a story to it. Then more brick houses here. This one I didn't end up furnishing either. I don't remember why. I think I just didn't feel like it. It's just as simple as that. And I'm just kind of going in completely random order at this point. So whatever order I look at everything is what it is. Then this was supposed to be the baker's house. You kind of have his baking area out here. I could probably have done a better job. I feel like I could make a more detailed baker's house. But for the time, I'm still happy with it. It looks good. Half stone and wood and brick. Looks nice. And it's kind of like that house where you kind of have this little room down on the bottom where you have your kitchen and your dining. Then this is just a big bedroom and an office space. Then you got your windows. It's a little strange that the windows are on the floor, but it is what it is. I'm actually gonna see who's online right now. No one really, but that's okay. It's the last day. I'm pretty sure everyone's done what they wanted to do, and they're kind of just waiting. And oh yeah, the fucking door is gone on this one too. Zombies just fucking assholes, man. Beating up my shit. So this is the blacksmith's house. Um, Fun fact, the blacksmith's house was more wood than it was stone originally, but since there's no residents protecting it from the lava ended up burning the walls down. And so I ended up replating it with brick instead of wood, which, that was a good 30 minutes of cleanup. But uh, it looks nice. You have your little suits of armor, this blacksmith hammers out, and you got some ores. A little lake of lava with his furnaces, and I guess I put the water there because I'm like, well, if the blacksmith really had his house burned down, I'm sure he'd want water to put that crap out again. So, and there used to be carpets on the floor, but those burned down. And yeah, that fireplace. I think the fireplace also lit this whole place on fire too, because I actually had it lit, and I thought this would protect it, but it did not. So that's some shit, but lesson learned. You got your little vent to get all that hot air up in here in the bedroom. And then I guess we'll come around back. And you had the public library. Before I continue, I'm actually going to make sure it's still recording, which it is. Oh man, we're already 30 minutes in. Fuck. This is going to be a long ass video. But it's for posterity. It's for me. If people watch it, then I guess good for them. Then you got the public library. This is a lot of work when I first started out just to get all the books. But now we're book rich, so living the dream. And you kind of walk in, nothing really going on in the entrance here. Well, you got all your books. You kind of hang out down here, places to sit. Uh, didn't really do anything behind the bookcase or the staircase. You come upstairs, and I like the skylight here. The skylight it's just pretty. It just looks nice. You get a little fish tank and a clock, a little chest. And this is where you're supposed to check your books out at. You have a little receptionist desk. Then another like study area and place to sit down. There's a quaint, small little library. I'm happy with how it turned out. Obviously there's things I can do better, but it's good. I'm happy with it. This is probably the goofiest house. It's just, it's just a tiny little slanted roof in one room and a porch with nothing on it. Not sure what I was thinking. I guess I was just like, well, there's this empty space here. I might as well put something here. So I guess I could have just continued the road around, but it is what it is. And then we kind of had more stilt houses, so this one's more like raised up. It's not quite stilts. I liked how this one turned out, but then you had a kitchen, little hangout area. Didn't really have a place to put stairs. I mean, I think I could, but I wasn't sure at the time, so I just put a ladder. I kind of try to avoid ladders. They're just not, I don't know, they don't make as much sense to me in a house as stairs do naturally. You got your bedroom, kind of overlooking the blacksmith and the public library. And we'll come down here and get rid of some of the mobs getting in the way. Give me that gunpowder. I actually want that gunpowder. And these pumpkins were already naturally here. It was more of like a little sloped area of a hill, but I put up this little retaining wall. And I kept the pumpkins. I figured, oh, well, I guess the guy farms pumpkins. Same with the tree. The tree grew here. I didn't cut that down or anything, or plant that. So it definitely adds to it. Then get these shitters out of here. Christ. I mean, that's just annoying. Yeah, this was definitely probably my biggest pet peeve with building this whole place is just all the mobs at night. It feels like it's night 70% of the time in this game. But these little hills with the trees on them and the bushes, those didn't grow there. I put them there. But it makes it look a hell of a lot better since I did put them there. I kind of forgot about my other farm, so we'll get there in a second. This was the second structure that was built. That or the third. And at first it was just this main house. Jesus Christ, man. Fuck all these mobs. But it was just the main house here. And it didn't actually have furnishings at first. It sat unfurnished for a long while. Until I came back and kind of figured a way to make the furnishings pleasing. Which I think I did a good job with. I think it looks pretty good, though, I could definitely add to it, but this is how it'll stand the day it dies. And this was a sheep farm. It was supposed to be the sheep farmer's house, but then all the mobs kill it, and and I think wolves killed them too. So it's been empty ever since. But it looks quaint. It looks pretty. And after that house, I built this one. And you can see it never got connected to the roads either. But these were... So I don't want you beating down the door. But yeah, this was... it was a nice house. Though, there's no basement or anything like that, which was originally planned. Because you can see it sits up on two blocks. Actually, I don't have a pickaxe. I would show you inside. But it's lit up just so it keeps mobs out. But got the porch, got your kitchen, your living area, bedroom, standard stuff. And I don't know what the fuck that was, but I know it wants to kill me, so we'll move on. And hopefully it turns day soon, because holy hell. I had a little little pond back here. Then the cows and the chickens they've been here forever. I like the little chicken coop, it looks pretty. The chickens are out here living their dreams, so... if I knew editing, I would edit this out, but I don't really. Just get the hell out of here. But, that was probably one of those zombie villagers. Then I had a cow farm. Not sure why you would put lumber in a cow farm, but, it looks good, so, whatever. It is what it is. And I put a bunch of wheat in here because I was breeding them for leather for a small period of time, but eventually you make all the books, and so the cows just kind of get to live here for eternity. I think I need to eat, yeah. And, more mobs harassing me. And then you kind of come back here, and you got the whole farm area. It was growing carrots, wheat, potatoes. And down here it was melons and beets. I think I've said beets twice, maybe not. Whatever. But you saw this house from the distance, but this was supposed to be kind of the melon farmer's house lives up here on these stilts, which is, I'm pretty sure, just from how tiny these stilts are, is pretty precarious. But it is what it is. It looks pretty, and it made sense to me at the time. And I still really, I think this was probably one of the better interiors in the whole town. There's just something about it that it just all fits in perfectly together. I especially like this little small little view. It kind of reminds me of like a little painting. Just the living area and the dining area. Then you come up here and you got your bedroom and an office, and again with that view of the ocean, it's just pretty. And the attic was kind of whatever, it's just storage. But you get the view of the farm and the ocean again. But this whole little area just looked really nice. I just liked how that side view turned out too. I was gonna keep going with it and kind of add on to this beach area. I have like a little dock and like a barbecuing area, stuff like that. But I never ended up going through with it. It was just an idea. You can also see another house from here, which I actually didn't build that. Some complete rando ended up building that there. And fun fact is these hills and everything over here used to be wooded. It used to be a forest, but I chopped it all down because I was assuming that one day I was going to end up building out over there, which I never did other than the pig statue. But that pig statue is actually not that old, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's the whole melon farmer's house. And you got more of the fields. And we'll come hopping back around to another one of the farmer houses. This was quaint. This is a nice little living area and kitchen and all that. It looks nice. And then hop back over here. This house, I really like it for how small it is. It's just very, I don't know. I guess the word is cozy, but for some reason I don't like saying that word. I don't like saying cozy. It just feels weird to me. But I guess it is what it is. So this house turned out really nice. Really, really simple. I know I built this within like an hour or two, which you might look at it and be like, well, it took you that long? Well, yeah, sometimes you just kind of sit there pondering those decisions, I guess. I'm gonna put the little melons up front. I guess he helps with the melons too. And this kind of hilltop was gonna be something much more. I could have done a lot more with this lawn area, but I just ended up building the house and kind of saying, well, I had fun building the house, I'm gonna go build something else now. You can kind of see there's some areas back here where I was thinking of building into the hill or doing more. I wanted to have like a harbor in the back as well as the front, but that never ended up happening. You can kind of see this island out over here, and I had originally intended to make it into a naval fort, kind of have some ships kind of at anchor, and like a lot of things, it was just an idea that never ended up happening. And then you get this house. It's alright. Not the most incredible house, but I still like it, still happy with it. All the furniture's looking decent, looking decently nice. I don't know, for some reason I just have a memory of standing up on this bed and just hopping up and down on it, talking to people on the server. Let's see who's online now. There's some people online now. That's good. I'll talk to them later. I'm kind of busy. Busy recording. You know, it's the last day. This is just what I'm gonna do with the day. Is just record the last time I'll see this, because I'm not good. If this whole server's going down at 12 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, then I'm at work. I'm not there. It's kind of sucks a little bit, but it is what it is. And then we have this another house. I like how the outsides looked. It's just very fitting. I just really like playing with those stairs. It always makes the house so much more interesting when you do that with stairs. And you go up front and you can kind of see I was experimenting and kind of doing like a cutaway up here for the porch. We'll actually start down in the basement. Need a little. I think this is when I figured out that you could have custom made player heads. So I finally started putting some down. Though I'm probably misremembering that. I'm pretty sure we saw some in the other earlier builds, but there was places I clearly intended to put computers or stuff like that, and I just didn't, just left it empty. But, you know, small beginnings. And you got a closet. And if you ever see this combination here, it's supposed to be like a little hamper to put your boots and stuff into, and then you have like little clothes hooks to put your jackets. You know, stuff like that. Then you got like a basement bedroom. Little storage closet. You got another closet. A little mannequin to hang stuff up on. Clock. Oh man, looking at this, I'm like, oh, there needs to be paintings. There just needs to be paintings. Everywhere I look, there just needs to be more paintings. And the kitchen was alright. It was a little goofy looking. It's not the best I've ever made, but it's something. You kind of have these skylights, which I think they look better on the outside than they do on the inside. Then you had like, I had no idea what to do with this room at all, so I just stuck another office in there and called it a day. Looking back, yeah, I still don't know what I would do with it, but it doesn't matter now. Then you had another little porch area. And oh man, this kind of bugs me. It's just seeing the floor textures not 100% being symmetrical or lining up with the furniture. But, you know, it's still a nice looking house. You can only do your best, especially in Minecraft. And then I'll actually come back down here to some of the areas you've seen earlier. Had like a little plaza, kind of just laying around. Then you had another little shop. What was this? You know, I was thinking, oh, they would sell drinks or something like that. And then this just had some random building supplies I never ended up cleaning up. Which, you know, it is what it is. Nice big tree, looking good. There's some sexy big trees. I like that shit. Then you had like a marketplace. It was supposed to be like a fish market, and there's supposed to be like little item frames with fish on them. So it's supposed to be like fish on ice, you know, selling them. But I don't know. It kind of made sense to me to be like, well, if maybe they're just selling straight ice. That's kind of how they used to do it back in the day. Just sell us a block of ice for the day. But you know, we got a little jelly and jam stand, some beer and drinks, a flower stand. Yeah, this nice little cart. I think it looks. It looks. It's not the most incredible cart, but I like it still. It looks good. Then we have the stables. I don't think it makes 100% sense location-wise, but it still looks nice. I was gonna keep my horses in here, and this is one of the horses, which I'm actually fucking surprised that it's still here, and it's been here for 3 years now, 4 years. That's a long time for a fucking horse to just be sitting here. So, good on the horse. Then we had another stand, food stand, kind of. It was selling some pottery too, and candles, I guess, in the back. And oh yeah, to get that carpet to stand up, you got this little threads of silk, so that just so I wouldn't have to put another fat block next to those stairs, and it would just not look as good. And we'll go around front first, real quick. And this was supposed to be like a little fishing store. It's supposed to be selling like, oh, fishing reel, a knife, arrows, compass, swords, flint, clock, fishing rod, fishing reel. I guess just whatever made sense to be selling in that store. You had a little squid head. So this is the head of a skeleton horse, I'm pretty sure, so I'm pretty sure I was just getting it out of my inventory for that. And then, playing with skylights. It's always fun. And yeah, there was a door. It's gone now. Just random building supplies that never got cleaned up. Then this place was kind of supposed to be like, I don't know. I always think this is where you would go and rent canoes, little boats, I didn't actually end up furnishing it though. I just kind of built these really simple little boats and leaving it at that, which they are okay. They are alright. I guess it's just as kind of good of a boat you can get with that size, but maybe I'll challenge myself one day to build a good boat. Oh, fuck. Then we got another house. Little mailbox up front, and a little personal garden. And a skeleton horse also chilling in the back of this garden. And I like this one. I kind of like how they put the supporting beam in the middle. It's distinguishing, I guess. And then this interior was really nice. I really like what I did. You kind of go up, and then you got your shelves. Like that's the work with the stairs and the trapdoors. More shelves. Then you kind of had your windows raised up in your desk, and then up here on this little platform was your bed. But it just, I don't know, just was a really creative use of the space. It still looks pretty. I don't think I'd want to change anything. Not even that you can't really see out the windows. That's whatever. I usually kill these horses, but they'll be gone anyways. And then again, I kind of made the blunder of, well, I made a restaurant. It still looks like a house. It's very home-like for, goofy ass reasons. It's a pretty small kitchen for a restaurant. And then you had like dining upstairs, which is it's okay. It's different. It's very different. The outdoor seating though was nice. I definitely liked the outdoor seating a lot more than the indoor one. And fucking Santa wants a piece of my ass. Get out of here, you bastard. You really are a fucker, aren't you? Alright, well, back to the tour. We'll go back towards this area around the docks. Or maybe you would call it a boardwalk. I'm not so sure. But this was kind of supposed to be a warehouse. This is I don't know. I still like it. Still like it. It's very different. It's very different. I don't think I ever really did anything quite like this again, but it looks nice. You store away some of your ores, I guess, to go other places. And I was intending to use the secondary space up here to put more stuff, but never really ended up working out. Then you have another plaza. A nice big tree, looking good. And then we'll get to this. So that was the grain mill, and that was kind of like a little bakery stand next to the grain mill. This is the potion shop. And I think I did a good job. You kind of have your books. I guess I would be trying to pretend it's like, oh, it's all your books on how to brew potions. And then you got your latest brewing stands. I guess this is supposed to be like, oh, you look something up in here. It's fucking Google. So it makes sense to me. So whatever. Selection of potions. Get your security camera. Make sure ain't no one's stealing shit. And then your checkout. And then you kind of have like your brewing the potions back here. You got a little spring to get your water for the potions. A little bit of storage. Then I guess your computer to keep track of everything you're selling. And then we'll head upstairs because the potion seller lives upstairs. And I made that building kind of rounded so you can see I had to get creative with the door. And I also had to get creative with the space because I basically made it wrap around and just did my best with what there was. I still think it's pretty decent. And then you have like the loft up here where you actually sleep. More storage. Looks good. Look, I'm yawning a lot because it's fucking 7 o'clock, but I don't know. And then we got some more of the houses over here. The house next to the cutaway house. And this is like a little cabin basically on a hill. Come in here and it's tiny, but even though it's tiny, I still think it looks good. Ideally, I would try to do something better than this nowadays, but it still looks pretty damn good. And you got your tiny little bedroom. Then you got your porch. And this was supposed to be another little central area. Hold on. Get more of these fuckers away from here. And this was supposed to be another little kind of central meeting area. And this little park. And you can see, I can kind of put equal signs into the signs to give them texture, or more texture than they already have, which, I don't know, I still think is a good idea, but I generally don't do that anymore. And then we got, there actually used to be the town mascot in this pond. His name was Charles. Charles is just an ordinary fish. He's not in this pond anymore. He's in a bucket, and now that bucket is in a box. So he's coming over to the next road with us. But I was actually kind of amazed that Charles was still in this pond for how long he was. I would have thought he would have despawned or been killed or whatever. But every time I'd come back, because I'd check in every couple of months, he would just be swimming around in here. You know, the only fish in town, but still. And before we check this out, we'll go to another house. We'll go down to the basement first. The basement of this one was sick. It kind of had like a bar and kitchen. It just looks nice in the corner. You get your popcorn machine. Obviously, it's basic, but it's not like I can put popcorn in the popcorn machine. And then this is Galaga. It says so on the sign. And then this was supposed to be a pinball machine with like a painting back there, but I guess I never put the painting down. Then you got your pool table. But this area came together really nice. I think it's kind of funny that the whole bedroom and living area is smaller than the the basement. It's just a bed and a desk and a closet, and then the just storage up in the attic. This probably was enough space to do something with it, but it's whatever. I never ended up doing anything with it. And that's how it looks on the outside. I think the sides, that just looks amazing on the side there. I should have put cobblestone there though, but whatever. I don't think this stands out as good, but it is what it is. And we'll head back down there actually, because this was supposed to be a fort with this little watchtower. And the fort itself looks pretty decent. It looks good. It looks okay. I'm not super thrilled with it, just because I never ended up finishing it. There was supposed to be more like fortifications in the town itself, like it has its own little militia or something going on, but it never really did, because I couldn't even be bothered to furnish this down here. I did not know how to make it work, so I gave up and moved on, which it's okay. You don't have to 100% everything for it to look pretty. Yeah, you can tell, it's not done. This was left wide open. There's actually supposed to be another little barracks or bunker out over here that was supposed to connect to it. I never even got to trying to build that because I wasn't. I think I spent 3 or 4 days building this. Yeah, you come up to the tower and you get a good view of town. Not the most incredible view of town, but it looks good. The tower was that was the only tower I've built on this server, and it's as good as it's gonna get. It's as good as it's gonna get. It looks good, but it took a while of trying. I can't stop yawning. I don't know why. Don't know why. And then you come up here and you have the church. Church looks decent. I think I could do better. It was supposed to have a graveyard in it. Graveyard never got done. And I remember fooling around with some friends. I don't think they play anymore. And well, they weren't really my friends, but they were just some people who happened to visit the town one day, and we just rode around on a donkey. And I guess here he is. But this is supposed to be a graveyard. Didn't finish the graveyard either. There's a lot of unfinished stuff in this town. Then come in, have your pews, and then this is supposed to be like your organ, which, it plays music. It's not quite an organ, but it plays music, so I like all the stained glass. It just looks good, looks pretty. Not sure why I decided to mirror this on the opposite side. It's clearly blocking the pews, but it is what it is. And then we'll head back down here, and I'll show you the last of this corner. Back to the plaza. You kind of have your little bakery stand, which I think it looks nice. gonna try all the goods that you would get from the grain mill, which I'm kind of being like, oh, they carted in all the grain from the farm all the way out over there, and you have your little carts bringing it in here. But you had your your water wheel to turn the grain mill on the inside. You come in, and then you have it's supposed to be the little, you put your wheat in there, and it would grind it down with the water power. That kind of idea. I guess, you just gotta play pretend sometimes when you're building in Minecraft. Places to store the wheat. And then I wasn't 100% sure what to do, so I guess I put the manager's office up here. Which, I don't know. It's a little weird to me, but it is what it is. Then the bank is right across the street. And I don't know. You got this domed ceiling. You got some quartz going on. Then you can see the vault. And the fact that that's still there can tell you that, yeah, you don't have to protect anything on this server. It's pretty damn safe. Then you got all your chests, keep all your belongings. Naturally, you got all that stuff to get in and out of the vault. And I guess that was like somehow if you got stuck in the vault, I guess the pressure plate will let you out. And then we'll go down the road. And I don't really have much commentary for this other than, well, my dad built it. I don't know what he was thinking. Well, I know what he was thinking. He was trying to build like a chateau kind of deal. And, for this being the only thing he's really built in Minecraft, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. He never ended up finishing it, but you know what? I'm happy that he even tried. I'm happy. Damn, I never ended up looking at his belongings before, but yeah, this is all the stuff he ended up mining up himself. I'm proud of my daddy. Proud of my daddy for trying. I hope he plays again one day. That'd be cool. This is a cool idea, cool concept. Sure, you might look at it and say, well, it's clearly not as good as your other buildings, but don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. I ain't hating on it. I think it's pretty. It's definitely prettier than anything I ever built first starting out in Minecraft, so that's pretty good. And you also built this out over here. We were going to put a statue up on this rock, kind of to complement the entrance to the harbor and also the lighthouse, which I'll show you that now. Oh, that's the kind of fish that Charles is. It's obviously not Charles, but that's that's the fishy. And you got the lighthouse. Nothing really special going on at the lighthouse. It's all closed off. I think this is like the only example of me building with diorite, which diorite, not very pretty block, but I think it's kind of fitting. You got the lighthouse itself, the bulbs, and everything up here, which I don't know, it looks cool. I think it looks cool. Looking good. And then I have to walk all the way back down. You can't jump off. But we're nearing the end of the tour of the town. Kind of seen it all. I think we really only have the quarry left to look at. And the quarry was not the last thing I worked on, but the second to last thing I worked on before I figured I was done with the town. You can see I was gonna put more road down here to connect it to the dock. And I was gonna put a boat here and load it up with grain, kind of like I'm exporting grain somewhere else, all this cargo. Little dock area to put it all. Never ended up doing that. I'm not good at boats. I don't know how to do boats for shit. I'll come out here, and this was gonna be the sawmill, and this is the last thing I built in town before I decided I was done with town, because this whole building process for the town was an entire year. It was a straight 12 months of this is the only thing I worked on for a whole year, is just building this town. You know, very happy with it. I set out to build this town just to prove that I didn't have to copy people, that I could do my own thing. And I succeeded. I definitely succeeded. You got your little piles of lumber strapped down and all that. Then you got the quarry. You got these little tracks to get in and out of the quarry. But you can see I left a shitload of chests from just digging all this crap up. And oh, diamond helmet. Oh, might as well take the free helmet. But yeah, I just left all the crap from building it here. And you kind of come in here. You got your crane lifting all the stone and ore away. I'm trying to remember if that ore was natural or not. I'm pretty sure it was there, and I just left it. And I like that's a pretty ass wall. Not gonna lie, that looks nice. And fucking, I gotta teleport to my bed real quick and lay down so those guys stop harassing me. Fuck these little dudes. I hate them goddamn phantoms. There you go. You got your raw stuff, all your blocks of stone and finished goods to be put on the crane here. Which I don't think you can get on the crane, but you can see the crane from here, basically. And you kind of have all the stone transported into here on this kind of like factory floor looking thing. And I gotta get the fucking mobs out of here. And then you'd have this factory floor kind of taking everything to the smelter, made into bricks and, you know, finished stuff like that. It's obviously not how you would make these things in real life, but, you know, imagination. Then you would store, this is like the storage for all the finished stuff. Then it would come back out through here. And I originally had these mine carts kind of doing circles for eternity, but they end up stopping on their own. And you kind of got the locker room for all the employees. And I was like, well, I guess the employees would have their own showers. Why not? You can kind of see there's another thing of rails up here that kind of come up into the locker room and shower room. Thinking about it, it's kind of funny that there's no bathroom in the locker room. And then I guess you would have like a little crane lifting all this stuff up. Put, I don't know, is this more stuff into the smelters? I don't know. And then have another shipping area out over here. Kind of where you just send it off, which it's a train to nowhere. Doesn't go anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I had ideas of keeping it going, but it's already such a big town. This was a year in. You know, I was kind of happy to leave it as it was. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? I don't know. Let me put on my elytra real quick. And oh yeah, shout out to Merc for giving me my dreams. This is the most badass elytra fucking ever. Love that shit. I'm gonna keep that for, forever. If I lose that shit, I'm gonna be so mad. I guess I'll give a little flyover of the town. You can kind of see it all from up here. Yeah, I didn't miss out on anything other than the big pig statue. Oh, my friend's house, which I guess we'll get there in just a second. Just keep going over the town. But as a whole, it was a good project. It's a project I've worked the longest on ever in Minecraft. So sad to see it go. Sad to see it all leave me, but that's life. That's the price you pay for playing on a server. We'll come over to my friend's house. She built the house itself. I didn't have anything to do with the construction of it other than the insides, because you can clearly see my influence with all these decorations on the inside. Pretty sure the sheep let itself in and has been here ever since. I really like the kitchen. It's a really pretty small kitchen. It's really nice for how small it is, but it just looks good. Just looks good. I never finished furnishing it either. As you can see, I was like, oh man, what am I even gonna do with this space? I don't think you can do anything with this space. Maybe just a few chests. Could have done something in here, but I didn't. Didn't finish. Then you kind of had the bedroom up in here. It was a hangout spot. And then I was thinking I'd put like a little clothes closet in here, but didn't do that either. And then there was a basement down below here by the dock, which I didn't have anything to do with it either, but this is where she kept all her stuff, which I borrow from occasionally. Well, I'm not going to be able to borrow from it anymore because she's going to be done. But she had her second floor. She's supposed to have her enchanting table and brewing and stuff like that. I didn't touch the basement. I didn't belong in the basement. That's her basement. But we'll go over to the pig statue. Even though it's made of gold and I could tear it up, I'm not going to. Oh shit. Fucking dude boy throwing them goddamn tridents at me. Give me that shit. Give me that good shit. Did he drop it? Nope. Fuck. Oh well. Alright, so the pig statue. I don't remember why we had this inside joke, but apparently pig spelled backward as Gip is just the most hilarious thing. And so now we have to make him a god. So now we have got a statue of Gip just watching upon the townsfolk and keeping them safe. And this is where you shall give them tribute. He demands your faith. He demands your love. He demands soul and he demands tribute. And this is where people leave their tribute naturally. And that's some pretty damn good tribute. I'm not going to take that tribute because it's not actually mine. I don't even know who put that shit in there, but thanks, I guess. And yeah, this was a good chunk of my gold, but I'm like, whatever. I also failed to mention I was very drunk when I built this. And, I guess that's just what you do when you drink. So that kind of concludes the whole tour of the town. There'll be more. There's going to be another video of where I went from here. But this is the first one. And, that's that. See ya.